Shalom. I'd like to start this lesson by saying Kal Halal Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakadash. Double honors, double blessings to the apostles of Great Millstone, and to the hopeful elect pushing his word and truth and sincerity across the four corners of the earth. So this lesson is going to be titled The Rock Dwellers. Okay? And when we talk about the rock dwellers, we're talking about Esau. Because living in the rocks, living in the mountains, holes, that's their homostasis. Hence the name Caucasian. That's where it comes from the Caucasus Mountains, right? After, their chains were loosed, after being locked up for 1,000 years, right? So we're going to talk about what's going on, and there's going to be an article I'm going to bring up to back up that this is what they do, right? And no further ado, let's start it off. So we're going to be at Jeremiah 51 and 1. Thus saith the Lord, Behold, I will raise up against Babylon, right? And against them that dwell in the midst of them and against them that dwell in the midst of them that rise up against me, a destroying wind. Right, so let's look up that. Destroying wind. Destroying. To destroy, corrupt, go to ruin, decay, spoil, ruin. Right? Shakath. And then let's go to wind. And you're going to hear the speaker's going to be a little loud because I have it connected to my Bluetooth speaker.
Strong's H 7307. Ruach. Ruach.
So wind, breath, mind, spirit. So he's going to send a destructive spirit, right? Or breath, because that's the wind, right? It also says air, gas, right? He's going to send a destructive spirit. And let's go back. Right? The Cain, destructive spirit. Up against. So read it again. So thus say the Lord, Behold, I will raise up against Babylon, and against them that dwell in the midst of them that rise, and against them that dwell in the midst of them that rise up against me, a destroying wind. Right? And will send, so he's going to send that, right? And will send unto Babylon fanners, right? So fanners, this means strange, but let's just look it up. Actually, this Slovakia. To be strange, be a stranger, to become a strange, stranger, another, stranger, foreigner, an enemy. So there's the point. Stranger, a foreigner, an enemy. So he's going to send strangers, he's going to send foreigners, he's going to send an enemies, right? Send enemies that shall fan her. So fan also means compass. So compass means surround, right? And shall empty her land. For in that day of trouble they shall be against her round about. Right? Now you can look at it as that this coronavirus, this COVID-19 thing, is a form of an enemy. Right? Even though they are creating it themselves, but through Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, they're doing that. But it is emptying their lands right now. Right? But some people will say that, but then we can go in further. It's going to be talking about actual people. So that's it on that. We're going to move to Jeremiah 50 and 14. Put yourself in array against Babylon, round about. All ye that bend the bow, shoot at her. Spare no arrows, for she has sinned against the Lord. Right? So the Most High said he's going to raise up an enemy, right? A strange enemy, a foreigner, right? To surround her. He's going to put in a destructive spirit. A spirit of death. Right, so now we're going to go to 59. For lo, I will raise and cause to come up against Babylon an assembly of great nations from the north country, and they shall set themselves in array against her. From thence she shall be taken. Their arrow shall be as a mighty expert man. None shall return in vain. So arrows is talking about weapons, right? Because those are weapons. They're talking about arrows back then, right? That's what they call them, arrows. Right now, you got guns, missiles, right? And none shall return in vain. So that means they're going to hit their targets. All these arrows, all these missiles are going to hit their targets. None of them are going to miss. So we're going to go to Jeremiah. And people are probably like, oh, this is not Esau. This is not America. It's not Babylon. But we'll see. I'm going to show you guys. So Jeremiah 51 and 27. Set ye up a standard in the land. Blow the trumpet among the nations. Prepare the nations against her. Call together against her the kingdoms of Arat, Mini, and Ashenaz. Appoint a captain against her, because the horses to come up as the rough caterpillars. And I'll keep reading. Prepare against her the nations with the kings of the Medes, the captains thereof, and all the rulers thereof, and all the land of his dominion. And the land shall tremble in sorrow, for every purpose of the Lord shall be performed against Babylon, to make the land of Babylon a desolation without inhabitant. So the Most High is going to send everything, right? So I was, Arat, I believe, is Turkey. It's like the Armenians. Mini, I haven't went into those that much, but I know for sure Arat is like Turkish, like the Armenians. And then the Medes are the Iranians. And you already know how the Iranians are with the U.S. and the Turkish people. So you already know that. So now we're going to go to Jeremiah 51 and 25, just up here. Behold, I am against thee, O destroying mountain, saith the Lord, which destroyeth all the earth. And that's Esau. They destroy everything. Everything they touch, they corrupt and destroy. Hence, but that's their lot. That's who they're supposed to be. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter because they need to go. So it says right here, O destroying mountain, saith the Lord, which destroyeth all the earth. And I will stretch out mine hand upon thee and roll thee down from the rocks. So he's saying roll thee down from the rocks because basically take them out of the rocks. Because they're hiding in the rocks. They would have to be in the rocks, right? And will make thee a burnt mountain. Okay, so now we're talking about the rocks. Interested. Very interesting. So we're going to go to Jeremiah. Jeremiah 16. Because why would they be in the rocks? What are they doing in the rocks? Behold, I will send for many fishers, saith the Lord, and they shall fish them. And after will I send for many hunters, and they shall hunt them from every mountain and from every hill, and out of the holes of the rocks. Okay. All right. So now I'm going to show this. No. I'm going to show this article that I was looking at. Article. Okay, here. So, this article was written on April 6th. It says some critical military personnel moved to Cheyenne Mountain. Interesting. Mountain. Rocks. It's not Ra and his alien friends. Oh, they're talking about Ra from the Stargate show. To invade Earth through the Stargate, which is funny. That's even another thing to talk about. It's a nasty little microbe called COVID-19. So, It's not Ra and its alien friends trying to invade the Earth through the Stargate. It's a nasty little microbe called COVID-19, right? That's why I say it. You can also say it's this COVID-19. And as the end of the March, some critical Slakia, and as of the end of March, some critical military personnel moved themselves to NORAD inside Cheyenne Mountain in an effort to make sure they are isolated from the virus. It's protection to make sure the U.S. can defend itself against our enemies. I guess this is a quote. To ensure that we can defend homeland despite this pandemic, our command and control watch. It's not pandemic. These guys they cooked all like these numbers that they're cooking, and that's what Apostle Gabar used the word cook because it's true. They are cooking numbers. Like every day, people are staying home. Majority of the population is staying home, but they keep saying, "Oh, there's been a multiple times 3 of the amount of people that have been affected," and blah 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 blah. It's just like, okay, first of all, that makes no sense. You have to be cooking the books, and I think Apostle Ramlab also, down in there in the state that he's in, he recorded it going to a hospital, and the way they were talking that it should be pandemic, right? It should be lineups in the hospital, but from his video there was nothing there. Like, yeah, they had the tent, but there wasn't a big lineup, right? So they're just creating fear to keep you guys at home, right? This is all part of the plan. You guys all scared and you just want to stay home so they can implement that chip. Oh yeah, we got the vaccine here, take the chip, right? So let's get back to this. To ensure that we can defend homeland despite this pandemic, our command and control watch teams here in the headquarters split into multiple shifts, and portions of our watch team began working from Cheyenne Mountain Air Force Station, creating a third team at the alternate location as well. Our dedicated professionals of NORAD and NORTHCOM Command and Control Watch have left their homes, said goodbye to their families, and are isolated from everyone to ensure that they can stand the watch each and every day to defend our homeland. It's certainly not optimal, but it's absolutely necessary and appropriate given the situation. Right? So they brought, this is U.S., America, Babylon, the great golden city, right? They hide into mountains. You know, their bunkers, that's where they did. Right here, you can see it. And it's probably not the only bunker they have, but this is probably the main one that they televise. They probably they have a lot of hidden ones, right? So you can see this if you want to. You can type in this if you want to look at this article for yourself. But okay, let's get back to the scriptures. So I'll read it again. Behold, I will send for many fishers, saith the Lord, and they shall fish them. So you can say it's the COVID, but Most High says he's going to send nations. So they're going into the rocks, but the point is to see that's where they go. So they are the people. They are Esau. They are Babylon. Because what their go-to is when in a sense of danger is to go into the rocks, into the mountains. Right? Now, this part is talking about when the Most High sends the nations. Behold, I will send, and also the elect, when we come back. We're going to take these people out of their bunkers where they're hiding. Because still going to be hiding there. A lot of them will be hiding in bunkers. And when we're brought back to our incorruptible bodies, right, we're going to go get them. We're going to hunt them down. Right now we're watchers, and then he's going to turn us into hunters. But right now it's talking about the nations. Let's talk about that. Right? Behold, I will send for many fishers, saith the Lord, and they shall fish them. And after will I send for many hunters, and they shall hunt them from every mountain and from every hill, and out of the holes of the rocks. For mine eyes are upon all their ways. They are not hid from my face, neither is their iniquity hid from my eyes. So they think they can hide. They think they can hide in the mountains and do their wickedness even more, and the Most High is not going to see it. Right? Because when, we're talking about right now with this COVID thing, when shit hits the fan, really hits the fan, it's just going to get worse. You know, when the nations come past them, right, he sends the fanners to fan them, they're going to go in their bunkers and they're going to stay there. Right now, you got the COVID thing. Now they're going to come out eventually. Then, you know, the whole chip and then everything else like that is going to happen. But then the nation, the Most High is going to put that spirit on those nations. Like the Iranians, and all the kings and the rulers, and he's going to send them after them. Then they're going to go into their bunkers. Then they're going to stay there because that's where everything gets worse and the missiles come and etc. Right? Then he's going to send his fishers, these other fishers, his elect, after we get our corruptible bodies to fish them out and hunt them out. Right? Obviously, Yahushua is going to get his first dibs. So we're going to go to Revelation 6 and 15. We're going to end off there. Okay. So right there. Okay. Revelation 6 and 15. And the kings of the earth and the great men and the rich men and the chief captains and the mighty men and every bondman and every free man hid themselves in the dens and in the rocks of the mountains. All right, let me go back to the article. Aren't these military personnel, aren't they, chief captains and rich men? Because it's not just military personnel that's going to be in these bunkers, right? You're going to have rich people that are doing it. Obviously you got the banking families. They're all going to be doing it in their rocks. And it's funny, they're going back to the homostasis because they're from the rocks. They're from the mountains, right? That's what it is. This is nothing new under the sun. Nothing new under the sun. Right? So let's read that again. And the kings of the earth and the great men and the rich men, so the rich men, the kings of the earth, the great men, and the chief captains, and the mighty men, and every bondman, and every free man hid themselves in the dens and in the rocks of the mountains, and said to the mountains and rocks, fall on us, and hide us from the face of him that sitteth on the throne, and from the wrath of the Lamb. Right? So it's trying to say, tell the rocks to fall on them and hide them, right? Cover themselves from Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, because he's coming. He's coming for vengeance. He's going to get them. But as you can see, those are the people, right? And that's just one example. But you can see that. Anyways, I want to close up on that. I hope this video was edifying. Close up by saying, Kal Halal Yahweh, Ba Hashem Yahushai, Ba Hashem Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone and to the hopeful elect pushing his word in truth and sincerity across the four corners of the earth. Death and destruction to this wicked kingdom and the 2/3 as well. Kwam Yasharallah, Abad Dabal, Shalom.